Calling to order my agenda went to you. Wanted to.
Oh, here.
I'll sign.
Calling to order the April 28, 2026 board meeting. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by amendment to notice approved at the board's reorg meeting on January 6, 2026 and posted on the Board of Education on the district website and communicated to the Livingston Township Clerk. We are returning from executive session, and be it further resolved, the minutes of that closed session will be made public when the confidentiality no longer exists. Can I have the roll call, please? Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I have the roll call, please?
Mrs. Charles. Present. Mr. Cohen.
Here.
Mrs. Gong. Here. Mrs. Kemka. Here. Mrs. Yelisevich.
Here.
And Mr. Coyne.
Here.
We have quorum.
Okay.
I want to go over a few questions that we've been getting from the public on the budget. First question has to do with kindergarten aides, and I'm happy to report that due to better than estimated prescription renewal, we're able to put the kindergarten aides back into the budget. The next question had to do with a budget shortfall. We do not have a budget shortfall here. We had a gap in for the 26-27 school year and what our revenues are compared to what our anticipated expenses. So we had to make some challenging cuts. But it had to do with day-to-day business practices. So our district operates under central purchasing model, which means all purchases are required approval through the business office. And the business office, there's a purchase order rationale that is completed and submitted with each requisition, and the decision is made whether the purchase aligns with our district current needs and the budget. We are audited yearly, and this year, I believe in December, we had our audit presentation, and our audit can be found on our website. The other question has to do with needs of computers K2 for students. Okay, so as we've said in other presentations, that in order for a student to go K through 12 here, they need 3 Chromebooks because the life of a Chromebook is roughly 4 years. We buy a less, I'd say, a cheaper model for the lower grades because they don't need all the functionality of the computers, and they last for 5 years, even though the warranty is just for 4 years. As far as the use of technology, I'm done. I got gonged, huh? You guys don't even know what that means.
No.
As far as our use of technology, we don't replace teachers with technology. So just for an example, I had our tech department look at our technology use just for a week in kindergarten, first and second grade. So in kindergarten, in that given week, which was the week before last, with only 14% of the computers used during that average of 17 minutes. Okay. And then in first grade, with 49% of the computers used, the average use was 31 minutes. And in second grade, with 85% of the computers used, the average was 56 minutes. So you can see by this data that, we don't use it, what I would call a lot in those lower grades, but there is a progression, and we do use them to do our benchmarking in the lower grades. And And then in third grade, the state provides a test for all our students, and they need to be proficient in how to use the computer. So they use a computer kindergarten through fourth grade, fifth through eighth grade, and then through high school, they get a new computer. There's a question about volunteerism as a solution due to the kindergarten support. I answered that above. But in any case, you know, we need a sustainable answer to a problem like that. And volunteers would need to really sign on to be there every day and go through all the background checks that our employees go through. Could there be a partnership with the Livingston Library? Yes, we do have partnerships with them. There's, you know, I know they met with the Livingston Library last month to do, you know, to make sure the subscriptions that they have, that they'll be available to our students in this summer, will include library registration as part of the summer mailing packet, which we do in definitely for the sixth grade. Is there a usage report that guides decisions on what we invest in as far as software? There is, and we use it, and we used it for this budget, and we were able to cut about $180,000 of software that didn't have high usage, or we felt we could do it in a less expensive way. If we had an opportunity to do a second question this year, why didn't we do it? And to address the budget issue sooner. So we do start the budget process pretty much at the start of the school year, you know, like in October. But our biggest sort of what we call a volatile cost, and this year was in the area of medical insurance, we wouldn't have known that back then at all. So unfortunately, this is something that we'll be talking about with the board starting in May to decide if this is something they want to look to do moving forward. Are we replacing retirees with current staff? When available, when permissible, we are doing that and asking the staff that we thought were going to have to be cut to take the positions in for retirees. Do we do residency checks with frequency? Okay, in the regular part of the board meeting, I'll do a presentation on a residency check we're going to do district-wide. So more about that later. But the end of this week or beginning of next week, all the families with students in schools, except for seniors, will receive a letter checking outlining the process for this residency check. A question about administrators and secretaries in the middle schools. MPM has 2 school administrators and we'll have 2 secretaries in the main office. In the past, there was 1 administrator, 3 support staff, and 1 supervisor was assigned there who conducted some building administrative tasks, which included HIB investigations. At Heritage Middle School, there are 3 school administrators and 4.5 support staff. Next year, there'll be 3 administrators and 3.5 support staff members. Questions about G&T, and I know some of you are here for that. There's no plan to discontinue the G&T program. We're only restructuring really how the services are delivered to the students with the same program. You know, we always look at our programs and to see how we can improve them. So I want everyone to be assured that we will have the same program. At the elementary school, we have 24 interventionists. They will take over the role of G&T. So there's 4 in each building, and each one will take on a grade level. In the past, how much did healthcare increase? Okay. So in 22-23, it went up 16%. and we were in the state health benefits plan. In 23-24, it went up 8%. And then we switched to the private plan because we had a good health history, and it only went up 1%. And then for this year, in this year's budget, 25-26, it went up 16%. And right now in Horizon Private Plan, we're anticipating around 26%. Just note the 1 year that it was 1% was a change in plan, and we could only do that because we had a very good health history. What's the impact of development on taxes coming in? So we're capped at what we can grow. But the valuation of the town increases with the increase of development. And that means the taxes are spread over a higher valuation, which impacts the taxpayer. Okay. But the district doesn't get an increase in what we can raise our budget. Our budget is capped statutorily at 2% with some spending growth limitation adjustments in the area of enrollment and healthcare costs. Has the 25-26 budget been reviewed in order to project the year-end numbers? Yeah, barring any big surprises in expenditures, it looks like we're gonna have a surplus at the end of the school year. Remember, we have about $170 million budget. So if we have money at the end, that money goes to help pay for the next year's budget. We put some in capital reserve and in maintenance reserve. If LHS registration is in draft form, can you share the enrollments by sections? Not by sections, but I can tell you that the only classes that really are over guidelines are classes like honors and AP classes right now, where we experience the rigor in the class. So people drop down if they feel that the class is too hard for them. So we know we have a history of students dropping down a level. So we have space in the classes like honors to college prep and AP to honors, where kids can drop to that level. Were there classes that you're not going to run due to enrollment? There's quite a few. In the arts, it's anything from sculpture, accounting 2, creative writing. I'm just jumping around. Natural resource and ecology, world religions, auto, power and systems, tech 1 and 2, robotics. It's just classes, really elective classes that students haven't signed up in enough numbers to run those classes. In our, our academic classes, no core classes are required. Math, science, English, or social studies classes were affected by the budget constraints. Are there places in the district where you anticipate classes to go above the guidelines? We do. As I said, in the talking about AP and honors, we do sort of load them a little bit higher because we know kids are going to drop down to the next level. Usually, right now, the schedule is in draft form. So when we have kids who move in, that sometimes can push some classes to a higher level. At the elementary school, we try to keep to the guidelines. There are times when we do go over by a student, or when students go in there for an inclusion. We may go over, but those students come in with
Dr. Fishbein, just before you move on to the next point, your point about the AP honors classes, guidelines, agreed, obviously. But that's something that we've done
Oh, yeah.
historically over the years,
Yes.
not just, this year
Mhm.
based on this budget.
Yep, absolutely. If you go to the slide, it's going to be on the screen right now. All right, this was in our original budget presentation, and this looks at per pupil costs by comparison over time. All right, and hopefully this will be something that's used in the future. You can see actual costs for 22-23, where Ridgewood stood, really third from the top, but it's third at least. Livingston, third from the least as far as spending per student. And then 23-24, we're second. And then the revised is we spend the least per student. And then in the original budget for this year, only Summit spends less than us. And this is historic due to, decades of school funding in the town. But also I think it demonstrates that district is very effective and very efficient in how we spend our money. That's all I have.
Thank you, Dr. Fishbein.
I can make a comment.
Yeah.
So, first of all, thank you. I think what we have before us speaks to the health of the process. We started off identifying what was a gap, and through a lot of conversation and dialogue, obviously much internally, but also the board and also the community, the process worked, right? If you look at where we have before us for approval tonight, we have a budget that maintains the academic rigor that this township requires. It maintains the curriculum that our students deserve, and it does so in a way that preserves as much of the district as is possible. And in fact, that work continued all the way up until this week, allowing, as Dr. Fishbein announced, the return into the budget of the kindergarten aides. And so I just wanted to make a general comment about how healthy our process is. And while there are choices that needed to be made, and the future will also require choices to be made, I think what I leave this with, and my hope is the community leaves here with, is a really healthy process by which we came to this budget and continue to come to these budgets. And so I just wanted to acknowledge that and express my appreciation, Dr. Fishbein, to you, and of course the entire administration for maintaining the health of that process.
Just thank you for all the work and to keep this community informed and engaged. I think communication is the key, and I really think Livingston is doing a great job keeping everybody on the same page. We're not trying to hide anything. We tried every means, from the news spotlighter to the website to the public forums, and hope we can hear more good news. And the kindergarten is back. We're just more than happy to say that this is something we've been waiting for, and this is what we do. So thank you.
Thank you. I do have a couple of questions about the high school and the classes that might not be running. So for classes that aren't running, for those students who did sign up for them, what's the process for replacing
When
these
they
elective classes?
register, they give an alternate choice.
Okay, so the alternate choices are not driving those classes larger than you would have anticipated?
No, they would move those students and then make any adjustments that we would need to.
Okay,
We had to revisit anything.
okay. And I know you said that the core classes were not affected, but are some of the higher level science and math classes in particular running, even if there are low numbers, or languages that maybe are
Yeah,
Language level.
none of those classes are in that list.
okay.
So no, there may be a class at 10 kids or, something like that, in a higher level world language.
Happened in the past, but nothing is sticking out this year. Is
Okay, so you're allowing students to continue the progression.
Like if you're working towards a, for example, we had an AP Physics C
Yes,
a bunch of years ago. Nothing like that is nothing.
Problem. It's not a
standing out.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then just one comment about the process. I thought that, first of all, it was nice to see people attending the public forums. So we had good participation and good questions through those two forums. And the other part of the process that I thought worked really well was going out to schools. So we were at Harrison School for their PTA meeting and just spent a few minutes at the beginning soliciting questions. And I think that when people are in their safe space and their school, it allows for open dialogue. And I think it was really helpful to help us through some of the budget issues. So thank you for that. Appreciate that time.
I just have a question piggybacking off of the courses that won't run. Do you have an estimate of what was maybe the maximum number of students that were enrolled in a course that we decided not to run?
Oh, somewhere like 3. I mean, there was never any that approached 10 that we said wouldn't run. They were like 1, 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's helpful to know. And the residency checks. I know we're going to be sending out notices, but could you just expand on how long that process is going to play out?
I have a whole PowerPoint.
Okay. Later on.
Yep.
Okay. And I'm just going to repeat this again. GT is not going to be discontinued. It is only the administration of the program that is going to look different.
Yep.
One of the things that I really want to commend all of you, just as a comment, is I have seen this budget play out since early on, and no matter whether it is at 8 o'clock in the evening or at 7:30 in the morning, I have noticed how very responsive all of you have been, very, very on target. Questions that we may have, you have already had answers, which tells me you had already thought about all of those things and then some. This has been a very collaborative process. I have really appreciated getting through the details in a way that was collaborative, that was actually informed. And I think the community engagement was really a tremendous piece this time. So it was really nice to see community engagement, us getting out, offering all of the PTAs the option to invite us in, and we were happy to be there. So appreciate the community's engagement, appreciate the community's understanding that this is actually not specific to Livingston. Any board of education we are talking to, and I am talking to, whether it's East Brunswick, whether it's Atlantic City, or whether it's Ridgewood right now, like everybody has some trouble with their budget gaps. And it is just structural right now in the state. The state is very well aware of this. Our legislators are aware of this. The governor is aware of this. The Department of Education Commissioner has been asked this question in the budget meetings about the funding formula. So I think just something to hold close, that we are very aware that we're not probably getting a solution anytime soon from the state. And we as a board are committed to working on this. As soon as this one moves in, we're going to start working on the next one. And so with that, I am actually going to move to comments on, from the public on budget items only. Speakers may be asked to stand and state name, and their town of residency. Speakers may raise their hand, state their name, for the board and speak through the webinar. And, each person may speak once with a 3-minute time limit until all those who wish to be heard have had the opportunity to speak. With that, are there any comments, questions in the room?
Good evening. My name is Vasant, and I'm a student who represents the GT students in the Livingston School District. In New Jersey, schools are required to provide appropriate services for gifted students, not just to identify them, but to offer how they learn. I'm here today because we're concerned that displacing our experienced GT specialists will make it much harder to meet those needs and will affect students like me who learn best when we're given the right level of challenge and support from specific instructors. First, I understand that the district faces tough budget choices and that these decisions involve balancing many priorities. These are complex problems, and I appreciate that careful thought has gone into them. At the same time, removing our GT teacher raises key questions about how gifted students will continue to be supported in the classroom. This is especially important because gifted students learn differently. Secondly, all teachers work extremely hard and they already have many responsibilities in their own classrooms. Requesting them to take on specialized GT instruction along with those responsibilities, like managing a full media center, makes it much harder to provide the correct level of challenge and support that gifted students need. A dissertation from Walden University by Christine Belzik states, and I quote, "Teachers who are struggling to meet the needs of gifted students with differentiated instruction reported a lack of materials, time, and professional development. Imagine what would happen to Livingston's GT students without this position and all of its benefits." Additionally, a strong teacher-student bond creates a secure base, making students feel safe enough to make mistakes and take the academic risks necessary for growth. With a dedicated GT specialist, where the work is meant to be challenging, this trust is the foundation of learning and success. The National Institute of Health states, and I quote, "Previous research has established that a strong teacher-student relationship can enhance students' academic engagement." This is the exact trust that we have with our current teacher that is simply irreplaceable. This shows an increase in academic success as well, which should be the priority in any prestigious school such as our own. On top of this, even though the new teacher will receive training, classroom experience is what transforms theory into increasingly impactful practice. Teachers with hands-on experience have a discerning eye developed over the years, allowing them to recognize problems before they escalate and adapt as well as create lessons in real time. The Learning Policy Institute states, and I quote, "More experienced teachers produce academic benefits for students that go beyond test scores." Training can share a curriculum, but it cannot replace the years of experience required to truly understand the unique social and emotional needs of an advanced learner. In conclusion, removing the current GT teacher whose students have genuinely made connections based on trust creates a real risk that gifted students will no longer receive the level of support that they need to learn and grow. These students require specialized instruction, and without it, their potential may not be fully developed. We respectfully urge the board to reconsider this decision and protect the resources that help students succeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any more comments in the room? Seeing none. Any comments on the budget online? Seeing none. I am going to close public comment on budget. And I have a motion to approve the budget. Roll call?
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dahl? Mrs. Yelisevich? And Mrs. Kemka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
We're going to move right into public comment.
Yeah, we're gonna go to
Put the financial,
Yep.
right?
superintendent's report. So besides besides the presentation on the residency, I have a few things to talk about. So you might have heard in January, Governor Murphy signed into law with one of the primary sponsors is our own assembly person, Rosie Bagoli, to not permit students to have internet-enabled devices for non-academic work on school grounds for the entire school day. We're waiting for our policy provider to give us a policy, but we'll have it in place definitely for September. While there are some exceptions, they're limited to accommodations for students with needs that need this technology for their educational goals. Unfortunately, this doesn't follow what we currently do. Right now, K through 8 students have to have their phones put away, and that works pretty well, with very few exceptions. They must be in their bags or in their lockers. In the futures, students will not be permitted to wear internet-enabled watches. This is for all internet-enabled devices. At the high school, currently, we require students to put their phones in phone caddies in the classrooms. This was started, they had them in the past, but it's a requirement this year. But they retrieve them after they leave class and use them between classes and at lunch. Next year, according to the law, this will not be permitted to have their phones out and in use during the school day or wear internet-enabled watches. So I bring this up tonight because this is a significant change for the district and for all students in New Jersey from what we currently do, and will significantly be a change for our students. As soon as we have the policy available and the Board of Ed passes the policy, we'll get the information out to all the students. Couple of highlights. Livingston has been named an outstanding for its outstanding support for music education by NAM 2026 Best Communities for Music Education. And I know the board, I'm not sure if the board got this. The high school students went to the National History Bowl tournament in Arlington, Virginia. They had 3 teams compete in the History Bowl against other teams from around the country. Students competed in 5 other individual events and exams. So our students went away to take exams. The History Bowl, our junior varsity team finished second. Of the 15 rounds they played in, they won 13. And our varsity team finished 14th, winning 10 of their 13 matches. Individually is where our students really shined. We had 11 of 12 students who competed in the History B, an individual history trivia competition. Of those students, we had a student place 3rd, 5th, and 6th in the nation. In other individual events, we had a student who placed 1st in the academic B. Another student took 5th in the geography B. Student placed 9th in the science B, and also earned 1st place in the national chemistry exam. And 3rd place in the national biology exam. He was a busy person. And
Is it the same kid?
yes.
Oh, wow.
And in the U.S. History B, one student took 9th place, another took 10th place. And another student took 3rd place in both the European history and military history. So those students did a great job. So there was a question about residency. So I have a presentation for you. So we're going to go through a residency confirmation process, and the district is initiating this important verification process to ensure that the students who reside in the district go to our school, so that all students. The process begins with an electronic records review, followed by individual family outreach if more documentation is needed. So basically, if we don't get in touch with you, you're good. Here you go. Next slide. Ensuring the effective use of our resources and management for our students. We want to make sure we have appropriate class size, assess and plan for transportation routes, allocate teachers and staff resources effectively, ensure accurate budget planning, and provide appropriate educational material and supplies, and support the proper facility utilization and maintenance. So a letter is going to go out in the beginning of May to all the families, informing them of the process we're going to follow. We will go through a review of our records to see if we need any additional information. We'll notify families if that information is needed, and ask for the documentation to be sent to us. So we're really looking for if information is needed, it needs to be uploaded through the parent portal. Currently, the district is proactive and contacts families whose rent or lease residential properties, and to update their agreements that are about to lapse. And then also the town provides public records to the district with regular updates on residential property sales and ownership changes several times a year. So while we're doing something overall for everyone, we continually look at this. And there are times when we have found, or we thought we found someone who wasn't properly domiciled here, and we have brought them before the board to prove their residency, and if not, they need to go to the school district where they currently reside. And this can result in the board billing the families for the tuition they would have paid. So if you are requested to provide further information, we ask that you do this promptly. Update address information if needed, and Amy Ennis is our registrar, and she can help you if you have questions. If you move within the district, please contact the registrar and update your address. This is necessary. You still are permitted to go to school here if you move within the district, but you need to update that information. As you can imagine, this is needed for accurate records for communication and any transportation you may qualify for. Residency information is not shared. Everyone has it in the district right now, so it remains confidential, used just for verification that you're domiciled in the district. We have secure protocols that protect your information, and it's solely used for residency verification, and your privacy is our priority. If you're unable to verify your address in Livingston, the registrar will review all documents as per our board policy. You may be required to provide additional documentation if it's not complete. And the registrar will definitely reach out to you to make sure that we have all the information necessary to prove that you reside here. If you're unable to verify your address in Livingston and your residency is in another town, your child's eligible to go to school in that town. New Jersey has compulsory education. So your child's not only eligible to go there, they're required to go to school. And we'll help facilitate that transition to the new school by forwarding your child's school records to that new district. And we can connect you with the new district. How do I withdraw a child? You visit the main office of your child's school, complete the withdrawal forms, provide the name and address of your child's new school so that we can send the records once there's a signed authorization. And then we will transfer all the student records once the forms are completed and keep a copy of your withdrawal information. Legal requirements, privacy assurance. Really, as I said before, all personal information remains confidential. Data collected solely for residency verification purposes. It's important for us to protect our students' privacy and follow state and federal regulations as far as that's concerned. So when parents and guardians live in separate houses, and this does happen, students are eligible to live with the custodial parent that resides within Livingston boundaries regardless of the non-custodial parent's location. Both parents should maintain current addresses and contact information with the school district, again, for effective communication and for emergency purposes. You can see on the slide here what required documentation. Our registrar's office is here in this building. Some people do have to come to meet with Amy. They have questions or so she can see the documents. So here's the timeline. All right, I knew you were dying for it. So we're gonna start the process May 6th. So you're gonna get the letter from us, as I said, beginning of this week, end of next week. We're asking for all documentation to be, if requested, to be here by July 1st, and then complete verification process by August 1st. Any questions?
The question on your first point regarding the internet devices legislation.
No.
You comment or just provide me an update of how much funding the state's providing for the district to enable their legislation?
Unfunded mandate.
I just want, if you could say the number out loud.
Well, zero.
Thank you.
So there are some who feel like we'll just say you can't have it in school or it has to be away and all. That's simpler said than done. We're dealing with adolescents who are very connected to their devices.
I just appreciate the state.
As we are too, So how many people have turned around and gone home because they forgot their phone? I have.
It's this morning.
All
Speaker.
right. So, we're as connected as students, but school is a partnership between the school. Schooling is a partnership between the school and home, and I feel even right now we do our part in controlling access to students' use of internet devices. Is it 100%? Absolutely not. It's not going to be 100% with this either. But we need the partnership with the parents who will be very understanding if there is some consequence for a student who decides to use their device after this policy is enacted.
So what is the consequence if you find somebody using?
Yet to be determined,
Okay,
you know?
all right.
But wouldn't it be horrible if it was a parent had to come and get the device?
Oh, it would be. Mm.
Yep.
Okay,
You know, how many people at this table has a smartwatch on right now or
Yeah.
some sort of,
I
yeah.
know.
Mhm.
No.
Yeah. So it's gonna be, so it'll be a challenge.
It'll be interesting.
Yep.
All right. Any questions?
Can I ask if the resident recently moved in the past few months from point A to B, but still within Livingston, what is the window for them to resubmit everything to?
They should do that now. They shouldn't wait for this. But they can do that. Usually we find out things like that through a kid talking in class, especially elementary. Oh, we moved to a new house, you know? And the school will contact the parent and innocently parents will think, I'm staying in Livingston, so I'm okay. I'm domiciled in Livingston and I don't need to do anything. But really for emergency services, you know, situations or busing or anything like that, we need to know.
Will that affect their, busing, transportation services? New house they moved to belong to another school area? I'm just saying maybe people are hesitating to do that
Oh,
because.
no. Usually, well, if they move on their own and in their new house, they require busing, then that is their decision to move. And we would only provide busing to the new catchment area. But to their old school, no, we would not.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Well, that was kind of my question, because when we move, elementary school often moves. I think there is an option to keep it or to move to the new
School. Yeah.
closer school.
Yeah.
So that's also important.
The majority of people stay at their old school.
Just one question about the deadlines. Are they connected at all to getting a student schedule? Are
No,
they separate processes?
they're separate.
Okay.
Any more questions? Ready to move on?
I'm right with that. We don't hold a,
Our deadlines for not currently, they have not spoken with each other in this.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Moving on to board reports.
Let's see. So we had a wonderful event on Wednesday for Livingston Celebrates Israel, and a lot of students and parents participated, and a lot of our board was represented. Most, I think, unless Seth, I didn't see you, but maybe by everyone. Thank you for being there. It was great. I just wanted to mention that it's a great event for our community.
Two things. I'll leave some for you guys. Bernard Hill had a multicultural night last night. It was a great time as always. And this year the new multicultural committee, they added a little element called the parade, national parade. So little kids dressing in their national attires, walk around the blacktops. And as usual with food and everything, performances is prolonged. So people have a really good time. It's relaxing and we were blessed with the perfect weather. So big shout out to Bernard Hill, HSA and the committee, all the volunteers. So thank you. And another thing is last week, I do want to mention that because I think it's very important. I drove all the way down to Trenton, attended the New Jersey School Board Associations. They have a public relations forum, which is in person. I think it's really beneficial. As we all see, we are all in a very challenging time, from facility to budget, from teachers' retention to student achievement. Everything is buttoned down to one word: is communication. So the forum is really informative. You can see all these administrators and school board from different districts in Jersey, what they're doing and what they're trying to do. So yeah, thank you for the district to sponsor that training. And I think I'm gonna write a long report back to so it's good to be here. Thank you.
Carol and I were at the Harrison School PTA with Mr. Stern to talk about the budget. So we appreciate their invitation there. I was at the elementary and middle school GT art show, which also featured strings from Mount Pleasant Middle. Am I right? Yeah. So thank you for that. It's really amazing to see some of the artwork that our students do at these grade levels. And then we attended the intergenerational, no longer called prom, but dance. It was wonderful, again, to see student volunteers from Livingston High School working with our community members who attend pretty eagerly each year. So thank you.
So our hockey team, I'm gonna steal your name. Our hockey team won the Guinness Cup. Apparently, they have played for 8 years in the last 12 years, and they were actually honored at the town council, where I happened to be there to cheer them on. It's very lonely when you're the only board member screaming, "Go Lancers, go Lancers, go Lancers!" And they were like, "What is wrong with this woman?" But it was fun. It was really nice to see them all. I was at the county leadership meeting for NJSBA, and there were discussions about what can NJSBA do better. And one of the things that I did raise was for this year's workshop, have they considered a virtual option? What is going on with that? And they said a vehement no, they will not be broadcasting any
And
of
no
their
day passes.
and no day passes. But they are, what they did say is that they may record some of the sessions and upload it. And they also, their spring conference is usually a lot of the workshop sessions repeated. I think we only happen to, we are a very responsible board. We were the only ones that said that we're not going to travel this year because we have a budget issue. But yes, if the county leadership meeting is going to happen, if there are anything that we need from the NJSBA, we should talk about it. I did mention increasing dues. That they need to consider that in a time of a fiscal cliff, we need to not do that.
Yeah. I also would be willing to pay individually myself if I could just get a day pass to go without any mileage reimbursement. So I think they should consider that.
So I think
given everybody's circumstances right now.
Yeah, I think at that point, I am going to be talking with Tim Purnell about figuring out a way for everybody who wants to attend.
Yeah.
On May 8th is the NJSBA Spring Conference. It is a virtual conference. Again, many of their sessions are from the workshop. So if there are sessions that you have missed and you would like to register, Joanne is our person. May 14th is their county meeting at one of the schools. I've just sent it to Joanne as well. If you would like to go, a lot of the people who have gotten their certifications are going to be recognized, including yours truly for becoming a certified board member. And last but not the least, I came here from a Girl Scout meeting where the Girl Scouts were learning about civic engagement and civic education. So they needed a female elected representative because it was a Girl Scout. So they were so profound, right? So they
Council can't do it.
the council, there were two council members there, and then there was me, and they had to invite me because there was nobody on the council to do the woman's role. So it was really cute. They asked me how old I was, how long I have been doing this job. And it was very interesting. And I told them if they want pizza every day, then they can't come to the board because we can't do anything about it. So they will go to the principal.
And you were honest about your age?
I said about my age that I am 5 years older than when I started this. Although I look even much older because they had a picture of me from like before I ran for board, and I'm like, all the grays, that's what happens if you run for board.
I did have one.
Yeah.
I attended on Friday the play date that the theater club and our director of the theater arts puts on for young kids in town, and all of our theater kids are
Oh.
coaches and counselors, and they get to pick roles from being on speaking parts to not speaking parts to working the back. And it was quite possibly one of the most adorable things I've ever seen. It was Disney shows this year. Groups put on, I think it was 5 or 6 different Disney
Of
shows.
course you went to the Disney shows.
I did.
You have to.
I knew one of the theater performers. She was on stage
Ah.
as narrator 1 in what show was she in? Rapunzel. And it was adorable. And I will say the high school kids were amazing with the little ones. And so just kudos to our director of the theater arts for all he did that night. And he was very busy. I watched. And then, of course, all those students. And just a point of correction. I believe you said the hockey team won the Guinness Cup.
That's what they said.
I just want to be clear. It's the McInnes Cup. They did not win. They did not win anything associated with alcohol. I'm like, no.
It was, and they were very, like, the coach was obviously very proud for the right reasons. I mean, I think they have this, they've played for 8 years, like I said, and I think the last they won was in 2013 or something like that. So.
And just one update with the intergenerational dance, the theater group also did
The Shrek.
some of the Shrek pieces. So they were there too, as was the jazz band.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the
Yeah.
best part though, that the Stagecraft's 250th logo that
Yes.
was on display.
That
Oh,
was awesome,
gorgeous.
too.
Like, and then I started taking like people there. I'm like, our kids did this. Our kids did this. And they're like literally your kids did that. I said 6,400 of them, one of them.
And don't forget the state level jazz band was performing that night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that night.
Yep.
Obviously,
Yes, I just said. Yes.
It's a lot of
Do any more of your updates?
How much a lot of things going on?
I still have more stuff.
I know. I know it, so I'm not gonna do it now. All right, well, moving on to the favorite part of the evening, the students report.
Okay, so yeah, you definitely said some of my stuff. I was gonna say, first, we're entering AP testing season right now, specifically in the high school. So nerves are high, but I'm very confident in my peers. Everyone seems well prepared. That being said, on top of that, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Student Government Association held their first Lancer Fest in the spring. I unfortunately wasn't there, but I've heard the most amazing things from everyone.
That too.
I heard it was awesome. And they had food trucks, a ton of clubs at LHS involved, student-led bands, karaoke. I was talking about it with all my student government friends and Mr. Muhammad today, and everyone was very content with the turnout there. So that was very great. Yesterday, I actually helped with the blood drive at LHS, which went pretty successful. And that was super cool. So I'm happy to play a part in that. And then what else? There's a few things from like quite a few weeks ago, because I know we haven't had a meeting since April 7th. And I wasn't at that last meeting. On the 8th of April, I attended the 250th anniversary like presentation night at the LHS auditorium, which was very amazing. The choir was there to perform. They were absolutely amazing. And they got a message from Mikey Sherrill, like talking about the Flatlancer project, which I mentioned a while ago, but it was super awesome. I was super happy to be there. And then I think there's anything else that I missed. Oh, you talked about the multicultural night at Vernon Hill. There was also a multicultural week at LHS. That was super successful. Everyone was very happy with that, and I think they had the cafeteria serving food from different cultures every day during lunch, and then there was a night in the middle of the week. And yeah, that's all I had. But a lot went down.
Well, see, I didn't take the 250th celebration, but yes, Mikey did send you guys a message, which was phenomenal. I was very impressed, and I think hats off to all of the people involved. I think the social studies, there she is. It was amazing. Thank you, Natalie, for everything that you have done and all of the other people that were involved. It was really nice. It was actually a lot of people left there saying this is exactly what we needed. So that was really nice.
Can I just say one thing?
No.
I need to thank Michelle. Michelle, thank you for the spotlight. I learned something new. Is it today is the National School Bus Drivers Day? But that's 28th. 28th, yeah. Yeah, so thanks today.
Today.
Yeah. So
I think
thank you to all those bus drivers. Yes.
Thank you. Is that all?
That's all.
All right. Moving on. Can I have a motion for approval of minutes, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll call.
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gong? Yes. Mrs. Yellow-Sevich? And Mrs. Kempka?
Yes.
Motion carried.
We are moving to the next part of public comment. This is public comment for any items, not just budget or the agenda items or any other items, anything that you want to talk about. Any comments in the room? Very quiet. No. Seeing none. Moving online. Any comments online? Going once, going twice, seeing none. We are going to move on. Can I have a motion for one closing public comments? Moving on to, can I have a motion for 1.1?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mrs. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gong?
Yes.
Mrs. Yellow-Sevich?
Yes.
And Mrs. Kempka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can I have a motion for 2.1, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gong?
Yes.
Mrs. Yellow-Sevich? And Mrs. Kempka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can I have a motion for 3.1 to 3.9, please?
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? I just want to say thank you to the policy committee and Dr. Fishbein and Ms. Berman. You guys have been working extremely hard, bringing us a lot of new policies, bringing us a lot of work, and we're seeing it in the background, and we appreciate all that you're doing. This is also a part of something that we need to do as part of our board certification. So thank you for doing that. Can I have the roll call, please?
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gong?
Yes.
Mrs. Yellow-Sevich? And Mrs. Kempka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Can I have a motion on 4.1, including 4.1A to 4.13, please? Roll call?
Before
Sorry.
just a moment, we certainly thank everybody who's on this list, for I want to take a moment and thank Charney, who's going to be retiring after 29 years in the district, teaching at both Heritage Middle School and the high school. He's also been a coach with us for a number of years too, and we certainly thank him for all he's done and wish him all the best in retirement.
Thank you, and we wish a happy retirement to all those retiring. Can I have the roll call? Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Charles?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Gong?
Yes.
Mrs. Yellow-Sevich?
Yes.
And Mrs. Kempka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
And I have a motion on 5.1, please.
Second.
Any questions? Roll call.
Mrs. Pearl?
Yes.
Mr. Cohen?
Yes.
Mrs. Gum?
Yes.
Mrs. Yellisevich?
Yes.
And Mrs. Kemka?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Any items of old business? Any items of new business? Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.